Thanks, Liz. Today we're going to talk with Bishop DiMarzio about a good community spirit among priests. Bishop, recently in a talk that you gave about sex abuse, the general scandal that's going on, you talked about the importance of priests having good communal life, living in good rectories together. Why is that so important in addressing the sex abuse issue?
Because we know, for example, the religious have less sex abuse issues than the secular clergy. One of the reasons you would think is that they live together. They have some support system. So that's one indication. But it's very true that priests need priests to be their support system. It's difficult in a particular rectory because you don't pick the people you live with. And in fact, when you do pick the people you live with, usually there's problems because people pick their friends. But you can't live with your friends. You can go on vacation with them, but you can't live with them. There's a big difference. So it's very difficult. But the basic thing is, yes, you're supposed to be supportive of one another. As I said very clearly, they're not boarding houses. These are places where you have to have common prayer, some idea of your common ministry, and dialogue. This is very important and healthy.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you, what do you think are some of the qualities that you're looking for in a good rectory? How can you tell? I mean, you make a lot of visitations, you go to rectories. What do you look for in a rectory to say this is a good place to live?
First of all, if it's clean. Would I want to live there myself? If it's disheveled, if it's not taken care of, that tells you something about people who are living there. Mm-hmm. They're not conscious of their surroundings. And they have people come in their offices, and people come in, and you want to look at a nice place. I mean, that's an indication you're not really in charge or looking at how that way is. And I think, again, it's this idea that they have they have a little chapel in the rectory. That's a good indication that this is a holy place, that they're praying together, that people do pray, and not just in church. It's very hard for priests to pray in church. Somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder, ask you this question, that question. You don't have that privacy you need. So those are the things I look for.
We have some rectories where there's only one priest living there. I mean, is that something that you discourage or you'd like to move away from?
It's very difficult. Some people do much better living alone and having other relationships with priests outside of it. Some priests like to try to live alone. We've had team ministry issues, and they haven't worked very well than back 20 years ago. And it's not an easy thing to do. I do think, though, when priests are together, they have a common mission, and they need to focus on that. Personalities are different, likes, etc. You can't have people that are chummy or pals, and that's not going to work. You have to have it focused on our vocation.
Mm-hmm. We have about 190 parishes in the diocese or so in Brooklyn and Queens. Does every parish need to have a rectory, or could we ever think about the concept of, say, a regional rectory?
Yeah, we've asked for that. People are living together a few places. We have 2 or 3 indications of that, but it doesn't seem to be a great movement. I told them, I said, look, we're not supposed to be there to guard the rectory or the church. We have, thank God, all kinds of electronic surveillance things today that can be as good as you're there. If you're not there, you can see everything. So if you want to live together, we encourage that. We can't force it, though. And I think this is where we have to look at the future to see if we can get people more open to that. Mm-hmm. When you have support groups that are formed by the clergy themselves, that's a good indication that they can share their life together, that they can support one another. Those are the people that perhaps could live together.
How about we have so many externs in this diocese? Is it difficult for them to share the same kind of lifestyle as people who have lived here their whole life?
I think it is difficult for them. I mean, they're all migrants themselves. They have all the problems that migrants have, and plus the responsibility of ministry. So it is rather difficult for them, and we're concerned for them too. Mm-hmm. We try to encourage them. We have a meeting with them each year and we have a vicar that looks after their particular needs. So, we are concerned, and it's not easy for them.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. Liz, that's the latest on rectory life. Now it's back to you.